Stoicism, a philosophical school that emerged in ancient Greece, emphasizes rationality, self-discipline, and virtue as fundamental principles guiding how we live our lives. At its core is the understanding that virtue, defined as living in accordance with reason and nature, is the highest good. This philosophy uniquely positions us to examine the discrepancy that often exists between what we say and what we do. In contemporary society, it's common to encounter individuals who make grand proclamations about their goals, aspirations, and futures, yet fail to back those words with concrete actions. Reflecting on this phenomenon, one must consider, what does it say about a person's character when their actions do not align with their words? And what does it say about us when we allow ourselves to be swayed by empty promises? This lesson aims to explore these questions through a Stoic lens, providing insights into how actions define our character and the respect we earn, as well as practical steps to cultivate a life driven by meaningful action. Chapter 1. The Gap Between Words and Actions. Understanding the Paradigm. In a world increasingly filled with noise, the gap between words and actions is more pronounced than ever. Consider a friend or colleague who perpetually discusses their plans to start a business, get fit, or adopt a new lifestyle. Their enthusiasm is palpable, and in those moments one might share in their excitement. However, when those plans continually fail to materialize, frustration sets in. This frustration arises not just from disappointment in their unfulfilled potential, but from a deeper questioning of their integrity and reliability. Using a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say," we observe the profound truth that actions hold more weight than words ever could. Whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or simple everyday encounters, what we say carries little significance if it is not backed by action. The challenge, then, is to recognize that our character is not defined by our intentions, but by the actions we take in service of those intentions. Cultivating awareness of actions. A first step toward bridging the gap between our words and actions is cultivating mindfulness regarding our commitments. Life's distractions often lead us to make promises that we have neither the intention nor the ability to keep. For example, we may assure a friend that we will help them with a project, only to find ourselves lost in busyness when the time comes. In these instances, integrity falters. It's essential to pause and reflect. What actions will I take to fulfill my commitments? Self-reflection. Exercise 1. Think about a recent promise you made, big or small. 2. Were you able to keep it? If not, what barriers prevented you from fulfilling it? 3. Identify what you can change in the future to ensure that your words align with your actions. By engaging in self-reflection, we deepen our understanding of our motivations and the value of integrity. This is the foundation of Stoic practice, examining the self and determining what is within our control. Chapter 2. The Importance of Actions. Why actions matter more than words. The Stoics believed that the world is governed by a universal reason, or logos, and that our purpose is to live in harmony with this reason. To do so, we must embody our values through consistent action. Simply proclaiming a set of beliefs or intentions does nothing to contribute to our development as virtuous beings. When we fail to act on our beliefs, we sacrifice credibility and respect, ultimately eroding our character. Action is the bridge that connects our beliefs with our reality. Think of someone who asserts a desire to promote environmental sustainability, but does not modify their behaviors, failing to recycle, reduce waste, or support eco-friendly initiatives. Their intentions appear hollow when not backed by actions, illustrating that the effectiveness of our commitment is demonstrated through the steps we take, no matter how small. Consider the consequences of inaction. The consequences of our failures to act extend beyond our reputations. When we fail to follow through on commitments, we harm the fabric of our relationships. Picture a scenario where a colleague repeatedly promises to collaborate on a project, but never delivers. Over time, trust erodes. Others learn to predict disappointment, eventually questioning the validity of their words. This pattern not only detracts from team dynamics but also reflects poorly on the individual's self-concept, causing an internal conflict where one's self-image disintegrates. Resilience through action. The Stoics placed great emphasis on resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Making and breaking promises directly impacts our capability to be resilient. Actions grounded in integrity build a strong personal foundation, enabling us to withstand the challenges of life with grace and strength. The knowledge that we have followed through on our commitments fosters self-respect and confidence in our ability to face obstacles. Chapter 3. Action as a measure of character. Redefining respect and trust. Remember that respect is never given, it is earned through consistent action. In a world full of talkers, it is the doers who stand out. When people recognize that your actions align with your words, you cultivate an aura of reliability. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When we claim agency over our actions, we also reclaim our strength. This acknowledgement forms a core tenet of Stoicism. We control our actions, not the outcomes. Building trust through consistency. To grow as individuals, we must also understand the power of consistency in our actions. When you make a promise, follow through. The reasons for your actions shouldn't merely revolve around fulfilling obligations, but should reflect a desire to develop respect for yourself and others. Consider the story of a student who promised to improve their academic performance. Initially, they express their intentions to their peers and family. Yet when exam week comes, their study sessions are absent. Disappointment ensues, and soon so does the doubt in their capability to succeed. Each broken promise creates a subconscious narrative that reinforces a lack of trust, not just from others, but from oneself. Stoicism encourages us to assess situations critically. Instead of wallowing in defeat when we fail to keep promises, we must reflect constructively. Ask yourself, what adjustments can I make to enhance my reliability? Creating a personal action plan. Building a reputation based on actions requires strategic planning. Here is a simple guide. 1. Set intentions. Define your personal and professional aspirations. What do you wish to achieve? 2. Make commitments. These should be manageable and relevant to your values. 3. Document your promises. Write them down to hold yourself accountable. 4. Create actionable steps. Break down each promise into smaller, actionable tasks. 5. Review regularly. Keep track of your progress and allow for adjustments when necessary. This cycle establishes a practice of intentionality, ensuring that you build a path grounded in action. Chapter 4. Learning through action. The role of experience. Experience is a significant teacher, and Stoicism teaches us to embrace both success and failure. It frames every experience as a valuable lesson, reinforcing the idea that actions create knowledge. In this way, your failures become instrumental in shaping your character. An essential Stoic practice is the reflection on daily activities. Journaling is one way to do this effectively. At the end of each day, write down what actions you took and the lessons learned. This practice helps cultivate self-awareness and fosters growth. Reflective questions. 1. What action did I take today that aligned with my values? 2. Did I act in a manner that could reinforce the trust others place in me? 3. If I fell short, what hindered my progress, and how can I rectify it moving forward? By asking yourself these questions regularly, you reinforce the importance of mindful action and align yourself with a Stoic framework that values growth through experience. Chapter 5. The power of small actions. Small actions lead to transformation. One of the most transformative aspects of Stoicism is the understanding that significant change often arises from small, deliberate actions. The concept is simple yet profound. Incremental change builds momentum. Consider the story of James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. Rather than seeking immediate transformation, Clear advocates for the power of small daily habits. A person looking to become fit can start by committing to 5 minutes of exercise a day. While 5 minutes may seem trivial, the incremental buildup leads to significant lifestyle changes over time. This Stoic principle reinforces the idea that perfection is often the enemy of progress. The focus should be on consistent action rather than achieving immediate results. Establishing routine. A routine rooted in small actions allows you to develop habits aligned with your aspirations. Stoics believed in the importance of discipline through a structured daily routine. Design yours to incorporate. 1. Morning rituals that foster clarity for the day ahead. 2. Allocating time for focused work. 3. Setting aside moments of reflection at the end of each day. 4. Engaging in activities that promote well-being, whether physical, mental, or emotional. By embedding these small actions into daily life, you create an environment conducive to growth and breakthrough. Chapter 6. Overcoming barriers to action. Identifying common obstacles. What prevents us from taking action? Often it can be the fear of failure, procrastination, or the overwhelming nature of our commitments. Stoicism emphasizes resilience and the courage to act despite fear. Fear of failure. Understand that failure is an integral part of success. Rather than viewing it negatively, employ it as a lesson for future endeavors. Procrastination. Examine what leads you to delay action. Engage with the Stoic practice of negative visualization. Imagine the consequences of inaction. How would you feel in a year if nothing changes? Overwhelm. Often, we set grand intentions that can feel daunting. Break down your large goals into actionable, bite-sized pieces. This aligns with Stoic teachings that encourage taking control of what you can influence. Practical strategies for Action 1. Commit to a short time frame. Instead of overwhelming yourself with long-term goals, commit to a task for just 10 to 15 minutes. You might find momentum builds naturally from starting small. 2. Visualize success. Before acting, take a moment to visualize the successful completion of your task. This practice increases motivation by aligning your actions with your desires. 3. Leverage accountability. Share your goals with a friend or mentor who can encourage you to follow through. 4. Celebrate progress. Recognize and celebrate even the smallest accomplishments. Positivity fosters further action. Chapter 7. Embracing the process. Not just the outcome, fostering a growth mindset. The Stoics encourage us to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. We often fixate on outcomes and results, which may lead to frustration when things don't go as planned. Understanding that every action contributes to our development helps alleviate disappointment. A growth mindset nurtures resilience. Embrace each step you take, regardless of whether it leads to immediate success. Acknowledge that progress may be slow, but each action builds a pathway toward ultimately achieving your goals. The importance of persistence. Persistence is vital for success. Reflect on historical figures like Thomas Edison, whose relentless experimentation led to the invention of the light bulb. Why was he successful? Because he persisted, viewing every failure as a step toward progress rather than a setback. As a Stoic, learning to focus on what you can control is key. While you can't dictate outcomes, you can dictate your actions, and therein lies your strength. Chapter 8. The ripple effect of your actions. Influencing others through action. Your actions have the potential to inspire others. When you embody reliability, it influences those around you, creating a ripple effect of positive behavior. People are more inclined to act in ways that reflect the integrity and commitment they observe in others. Consider individuals who have played a significant role in your life: mentors, leaders, friends. What actions stood out? Often the loudest messages come not through spoken words, but through their unwavering dedication to their commitments. When you demonstrate accountability, others are likely to emulate that behavior, fostering a culture of action and trust. Building a legacy of action. Think beyond immediate relationships and consider the broader human experience. What legacy do you wish to leave behind? The nature of your impact, how others remember you, is intricately linked to your actions. Aim to cultivate a legacy that echoes through your actions rather than your words. Reflect on the values you want to uphold and ensure your actions are aligned with those principles. Consistent, virtuous actions will create lasting memories, etched in the experiences of those you've touched. In the grand scheme of existence, what ultimately defines us is the sum of our actions. As you step into the future, let the philosophy of Stoicism guide your journey. Make the conscious decision to act with integrity. In doing so, you will cultivate respect, inspire those around you, and live a life enriched by purpose. This Stoic lesson serves as a reminder that the power of action resides within each of us. Embrace it, and let your actions define the character you aspire to embody. In a world full of talkers, become the doer. Your legacy will be built not on the promises you make, but on the actions you take. In the words of Seneca, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Don't let your life pass by in empty talk. Start acting today, for your actions are the true measure of who you are. How will you choose to make your mark? The answer lies not in words, but in the steadfast actions you take each day.